ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। Mandalam 9, Suktam 6. Rishi Asita Kashyapa Devata Pavamana Soma Chandas Gayatri Mandrasya Somadharaya Vrisha Pavasva Devayu. 9.6.1. O shower of essence of Atma, spiritual Soma, desiring enlightened souls and thus may you flow among the hair sieves which are as though made of sheep's wool with delight-giving Soma streams. Soma, essence of Atma, flow through the sieves of the woolly ignorance cloud and streams out to pervade 5 forms of basic matter and diverse material forms, appearing and disappearing as though in continuous streams. 9.6.2. Abhityam madam. O resplendent Soma, thinking yourself to be Indra, please flow around or near that very exhilarating, delighting essence and also around speedy horses or spiritual light rays. Flowing essence of Atma picks up the unreal flowing property of water and the spiritual rays of light of Atma. Soma only appears for Indra. Abhityam purvyam madam. O Atmiya Soma, getting extracted, may you cause to flow that very delighting Soma essence near us and also near wealth and fame. The spiritual Soma essence causes the flow of material objects for the sacrificers and also subtle wealth, knowledge and physical or spiritual fame. Anudrapsa Indava, drops of essence, 6.4. Drops of essence flowing thickly and getting purified flow towards and reach Indra, like water flowing to lower levels. Next, the flowing essence of Atma moves towards Indra, the universal manifested self or Jivatma, who is at a lower level compared to Atma, the unmanifested self. Yamatyamiva Vadinam 6.5. 10 ladylike fingers adorn that essence coming through the strainer like a speedy horse. 5 sensory organs and 5 organs of action get activated by Jivatma. Tam Gobhir Vrushanam Rasam 6.6. O resplendent Soma, with rays of spiritual light, you let flow that extracted essence, which is shower of happiness, for distribution among shining beings, for their delight, and for bestowing happiness on us. Essence of Atma enlivens all living beings, or shining beings, enlightened souls, human beings, etc. Devo Devaya Dharaya 6.7. Shining extracted spiritual Soma essence flows with the stream for a resplendent Indra. That Soma essence grows and overflows. This spiritual Soma essence assists Indra, the manifested self, in the creation of the universe. It pervades all material forms, appearing and disappearing continuously. Atma Yajnasya Ramhya 9.6.8. The soul of sacrifice, extracted Atmiya Soma essence, flows quickly making loud noise. Om. It protects ancient wisdom. This and the next one, he flows towards the sacrifice of creation of the universe by Indra. Atmiya Soma essence protects Prakriti and its laws and ancient knowledge of the Vedas. Last sloka of the sutta. Eva Punana Indrayur, O best delight-giving Atmiya Soma, desiring Indra and purifying the delightful essence in this way for distribution, you uphold even hidden speech. Hidden speech Om. Pranavam hi Parad Brahma Mandukya Karika. Atma is to be realized within the heart space. Next Suktam 7. The same Rishi, the same Devata, same Chandas. Asargramindava Patha 7.1. Drops of Atmiya Soma essence possessing good luster flow along the path set by the arranger of Ruta, knowing his course or the course set by him. Shining Soma or essence of Atma pervades the 5 basic forms of matter and objects made of matter as per Ruta, said by the Creator. Pradhara Matho Agriyo 7.2. Atmiya Soma's main sweet stream is flowing down. That oblation which is most praiseworthy among oblations plunge into the great water streams. This Soma provides or bestows existence to the water streams and picks up the flowing property of water. Prayujo Vacho Agriyo, showerer of happiness, fruitful performer of sacrifice, and foremost among the shining beings, namely spiritual Soma, makes noise by suitable speech Om in a distant land towards the abode. Soma manifests as lightning or Agni and thunderbolt in the atmosphere. Spiritual Soma leads one to the abode of the self. Speech implies Vedic hymns or Om, which encompasses all speech. Reference Suktam 10.71. Pariyat Kavya Kavir when wise soul Soma, covering strength or manhood, moves towards the hymn of the praisers, mighty Indra on his own wishes to obtain wealth for the praisers. Soma, which is covered with a layer of ignorance, is praised by the wise sages. Through Indra, he wishes to shower wealth of knowledge on the praisers. Pavamano Abhisprudho. When the virtuous praisers excite resplendent Soma, Atma, getting purified, he watches over all malicious men like a king sitting before his subjects. Virtuous Soma, essence of Atma, overcomes evil thoughts in men's minds. Abhyovare Priyo 7.6. Spiritual ray-like clear Atmiya Soma sits among the clouds in the hair sieves, which are as though made of wool. The chatterer becomes master of praise. Spiritual ray Soma sits among the clouds in the atmosphere as heat, light or lightning and static electricity, or ignorance in the minds of the sages. He inspires the praisers' minds. Savayumindram Ashvina. Who delights with his own good works, he goes to Vayu, Indra and Ashwins with delight. This is 9.7.7. Meaning of the implied meaning of this Ruk is soul of Soma pervades air, manifested self Indra and Ashwins, the combination of Paramatma Jivatma. Next Ruk. Amitra Varuda Bhagam Adbhavavanda Urmaya. Waves or pulses of this sweet essence Atmiya Soma float towards Indra, Varuna and Bhaga. Knowing or coming to know about Soma and his powers, they move with his powers. This Ruk and the next Ruk are self-explanatory. Next Ruk is the last one in the sutta. Asmabhyam udasirayim. Oh, the space and earth, please win for us wealth, fame and other enjoyable things for gaining the wealth of the sweet spiritual Soma essence. Wealth of spiritual Soma essence is pulses of spiritual light energy. Suktam 8 is the next one. Same Rishi, same Devata, same Chandas. Ete Soma Avipriyamindrasya Kamamaksharan. These drops, 8.1. These drops of shining Soma increases the valor of Indra, flow towards his desired favorite home. Flowing essence of Atma. Implied meaning, flowing essence of Atma, Soma. Each drop of it activates Indra Jivatma and flows towards the abode of the self, which means heart space of a living being. Each drop supplies one moving witnessing self. Udana Sashchamushado 8.2. The drops of resplendent Soma getting purified and staying in the vessel go to Vayu and Ashwins. May they bring us good heroism and manliness. Drops of Soma activate Vayu, Pranas and Ashwins, the Atma combination. Indrasya Somaradhase 8.3. O Atmiya Soma, getting purified and contented, may you impel yourself for sitting in the origin of Ruta, for gifting the essence to Indra. Spiritual essence Soma causes the manifestation of Ruta through Indra. This is the implied meaning. 9.8.4. Murjanditva dashakshipo. O Soma soul, 10 throwers serve you. 7 intelligences set you in motion. Wise men exhilarate you alongside. 10 throwers are presiding deities of 5 organs of action and 5 pranas. 7 intelligences are presiding deities of 5 sense organs, mind and ego. Wise men partake bliss with Soma. Wise sages. Devebhyastva madayakam 8.5. O spiritual Soma with rays of spiritual light, I cover you, who is woolly like a sheep and is giver of desire, for the delight of enlightened or shining souls. Seer of the Sukta is clothing the Soma, born out of the cloud-like ignorance, with spiritual light so that enlightened souls can partake bliss with Soma. Purana Kalasheshwa 8.6. Getting purified, the shining ray associated with spiritual Soma covers the essence containing spiritual light rays in the jars, meaning bodies of living beings as though with clothes. Jivatmas present in different bodies are covered by a cloth of ignorance, since they are supposed to move from one body or jar to another. Maghona apavasvano jahi vishva avadvisha 8.7. O drops of spiritual soma, please flow towards us, who are rich offerers of oblations. Destroy all malicious foes. Take possession of friend Indra. Flowing essence of Atma, Soma, causes the manifestation of universal Jivatma, Indra. Part of the Sruk and the next Sruk are self-explanatory. Vrishtim divah parisravadyum nam prithivyadhi. O spiritual Soma, let flow the rain water from the sky or atmosphere and splendor onto the earth. Please give us strength in battles. Last book. Nrishaksha santva vayamindrapitam. O King Soma, praising you, who is a perceiver of leaders of men, is knower of Atma, and is drunk by Indra, may we enjoy desirable wealth and offspring. Desirable wealth implies Atma Jnana, self-knowledge, indeed. Suktam 9, same Rishi, same Devata, same guide, same Chandas. Paripriyadiva kavir mayamsi. Sage like Atmiya Soma, possessing the insight of wise men and who is placed in the offspring Indra, being impelled, goes to the extremely dear offsprings of the shining space. Soma, flowing essence of Atma, through Indra, goes to other shining objects, shining beings perhaps. Shining space refers to Purusha or Atma. Atmiya Soma is the cause of the perception of divinity. Purusha, real, and Prakriti, unreal. This is implied in the Rig. Praprakshayaya panyase. O resplendent Soma, may the propitious you move with very gracious mind for a man who is a non-injurious praiser and who serves as a good abode to you for his enjoyment. May the spiritual Soma move towards the seer of the Suktam. That is the gist of the Rig. Sasunur Matara Shutyat 9.3. The spiritual son, born pure and great, illumines the great enhancers of Luta, and who are the mothers of all born beings. The space and earth are like mothers for all manifested forms. The seer is praising these enhancers of Luta, or spiritual Soma through Indra causes the manifestation of the space and earth. This is implied here. Sasaptadhiri birhito. Those who 9.4. Those who may grow the one eye, quantum of spiritual energy, Soma, that uninjured Soma, placed in the minds of those wise men, causes the 7 rivers or streams to move quickly. The uninjured one, spiritual energy quantum of Soma, is meditated on by wise men. That Soma activates the 5 sensory organs, the mind and ego of each wise man. Ta abhisantamastutam. 9.5. O Indra, in your ordinances, the wise sages uphold the ever-youthful spiritual Soma, who is gained and is invincible for performing great deeds. Wise men uphold the Soma, moving witnessing self mentioned in an earlier book, for performing great deeds. Abhivahnidamartya. 9.6. That well of shining Soma, who is a good conveyor, is not a mortal. He is conducting well, and he oversees the 7 streams, satiates the 7 shining streams. Atmiya Soma gives satisfaction and delight to the 7 streams mentioned earlier. By implication, Atmiya Soma bestows perceivership on the sense organs, the mind and ego. 9.9.7. Avagalpeshu na. O Supreme Spiritual Soma, getting purified in all ways, may you protect us. Please destroy all ignorance which are to be overcome. Obviously, the flowing essence of Atma, Soma, symbolizes Supreme Self. 9.8. Nunavyase naviyase suktaya sathaya patha. O resplendent Soma, please quickly accomplish for us the paths for new Vedic suktas which are appearing recently. Illumine your splendor as of old. May Atmiya Soma excite new suktas in the minds of the seer and his friends. We go to the last stroke of the sukta. Pavamana Mahishravo, O purified or flowing Atmiya Soma. Atmiya Soma means body attached witnessing self. Like a hero, give us great fame, cattle, horses, etc. Please and obtain for us intelligence and our own self or Atma. We go to the next sukta. Asita, Kashyapa, same Rishi, same Devata, Pavamana Soma, and same Chandas Gayatri. Praswana Soratha Iva, 9.10.1. Drops of spiritual Soma making loud noise like a chattering chariot and moving fast like horses, proceed for acquiring wealth for the desirers of fame. Soma, drops of flowing essence of Atma, are flowing fast for a seeker of truth like the seer of the Suktam to reveal self-knowledge. They flow out of the ignorance cloud, making noise like any other flowing stream, but all sounds are encompassed within Om. As we mentioned, refer 10.71 Suktam. Invana Soratha iva dadhanvidega bhastyo. 10.2. Drops of shining Soma being impelled like a chariot are held by the hands of performers of sacrifices like load bearers carry burden in their hands or on their heads. The seekers or the seer of the Sukta get hold of Atmiya Soma as described in this book. Seekers of truth conceive of or carry in their heads drops of flowing essence of Atma, Rajano na prasastibhi. 10.3 Drops of spiritual soma are adorned with milk products, or spiritual light rays like a king with praises, or like a sacrifice is adorned by its 7 supporters. Shining soma drops are covered with spiritual rays of light. The knowledge sacrifice is being performed by the 7 entities: sense organs, mind and ego. These sacrifices adorn drops of Atmiya Soma in their minds with rays of spiritual light of Atma. This is the implied meaning. Parisuvanasa Indavo. 10.4 Drops of spiritual Soma extracted by Vedic speeches, being impelled, flow around with streams for the delight of the sacrifices. Drop of Soma appear to flow from one body to another continuously, delighting the sacrificers. Each drop carries a quantum of spiritual energy, setting up one Atmiya Somadhara with respect to time. Apanaso vivasvato jananda utaso bhagam. 10.5 Soma drops, who are shining like the suns, are meant for the drinking of the bright one, Indra, and are generators of prosperity to Usha. And these drops pervade even atoms. Atmiya Soma drops are generators of self-knowledge and pervade every atom of matter. The rest of the earth needs no explanation. Such a Somadhara bestows existence on Usha, who generates time by appearing once every day. Apadvara Madinam. 10.6 Ancient men who are preparers of Soma uncover the doors of the mind for holding the mighty one. Mighty one means Atma. Ancient sages who conceived Soma, flowing essence of Atma, opened the door to ignorance layer covering the mind, namely unreality of its existence, independent of Atma. By removing ignorance, Atma gets revealed. 9.10.7 Samijinasa asate hodara. The 7 relatives remaining together and extending over the abode of Atma become performers of sacrifices. The 7 performers of sacrifices mentioned in the 3rd rig offer themselves as oblation to Atma, the supreme abode. Nabhana bhinna adade. 10.8 I receive the home in my navel cavity, which means heart. My eye too gets united with the sun. I milk the offspring of Atmiya Soma of the sage. The seer identifies himself with Atma, sitting in the cave of his heart, and his eye shines like the sun. Eye of Purusha, described in 10.90. He milks the spiritual Soma essence for this Atmajnana. Or the seer realizes that the moving witnessing self stationed in his heart space is the same as the one present in all heart spaces. This is the truth which he has realized. 9.10.9 last book in the Sutta. Abhipriya Divaspadam. I see before me the dear home of the shining space, which is hidden in the cave of the heart by sacrificers with eyes shining like the sun. With the internal or inward turned eye, seer of the Sukta, sage Asita, realized that the Atma residing in his own heart. This is a beautiful and sublime Sukta, but generally misinterpreted, probably because it finds a place in the 9th mandala. We go to next Sukta from the same Rishi and same Devata, same Chandas. Upasmaik Aidanara, O leaders of men, please sing praise for that purified or flowing Soma and endeavor to win over resplendent or shining beings. This is 11.1. We go to 11.2. Abhite Madhuna Bayo, O Atmiya Soma, sages well versed in Atharvana Veda, desiring enlightenment, mix your resplendence with the sweet essence of the Soma creeper or water. Performers of gross sacrifices consider or identify flowing essence of Atma Soma with the essence of Soma creeper. Sanapavasva Shamgave 11.3. O King Soma, please flow for the prosperity of our cows, for our people, for our horses and for our plants and herbs. Atmiya Soma is responsible for the creation of all living creatures. Bhavenu Swatavase 9.11.4. O invokers, chant Vedic hymns for resplendent Soma, who is reddish brown, is mighty on his own, is reddish and is touching the space. Spiritual Soma is being referred to here, who is considered to be reddish brown in color. Hastachutevhir adribhi 9.11.5. O sacrificers, purify the Atmiya Soma extracted with stones or clouds by the movement of hands and add sweet water in the sweet essence. Gross Soma, essence of Soma creepers or water of the cloud in the atmosphere symbolizes spiritual Soma as indicated in the second rik of the Suktam. Here Soma may be any of the three types. Namasedupasiddhata 11.6. O sacrificers, with salutations, make the shining Soma sit down near you. Mingle him with a house, uphold this Soma in Indra. Seer of the Suktam, sage Asita, is telling his listeners to associate Atmiya Pavan Soma with Paramatma and also Jivatma present in their own hearts and Atma in Indra. Amitraha Vidarshani 11.7. O soul of Soma, destroyer of enemies, very active and fulfiller of desires for enlightened souls, may you flow for Indra, for prosperity of cows or rays of spiritual light. Indraya Somavadave Madaya Parishichyase 11.8. O King Soma, knower of the mind and Lord of the mind. You are being poured out for Indra, for drinking for his delight. Mind has no existence independent of Atma or flowing essence of Atma, Soma. Rest of the look is self-explanatory. Spiritual Soma is meant or to be poured out for Indra. Last look of the Sukta. Pavamana suvidyam rayim somaririhina. O powerful purifier, spiritual Soma, uniting us with Indra, please bestow upon us wealth associated with great heroes. May Soma reveal self-knowledge or Atmajnana through Indra Jivatma. He only carries quantum Soma. He only carries quanta of spiritual energy necessary for the creation of this manifested universe. We go to the next work, next Suktam, Suktam 12. Same Rishi, same Devda, same Chandas. Soma Sarigramindavas Sudartasya Sadhane. Drops of shining Soma, extracted and extremely sweet, appear in the home of Ruta for Indra. Drops of flowing essence of Atma appear in diverse forms in the universe for Indra, universal manifested self. Abhivipra Anushataga Avovat Sannamadara 12.2. Wise sages call upon Indra for drinking this Soma, like the mother cows calling their dear calves. Madachut Kredi Sadhane 12.3. The gladdening Atmiya Soma essence stays in the home like waves or illusion on waters. The wise Soma lives in the Vedic speeches. Soma Atma appears in ever-changing diverse forms in the universe. Wise Soma stays well praised in the Vedic hymns of the wise sages only. Spiritual Soma carries the unreal flowing property of water. 12.4. Divo Nabha Vichakshano Vyovare Mahiyadaya. That highly intelligent, wise, conspicuous Atmiya Soma is being honored in the hair sheaves which look like sheep's wool in the middle of the shining space. The wise Soma, implied meaning, the wise Soma is being conceived of in the minds of wise sages as appearing in the cloud-like ignorance. He is being profusely praised by wise sages through these Vedic hymns, in this mandala especially. Shining space symbolizes Atma, the abode. It stands for Purusha. 10.90.1 Ruk. Yeah. Soma Kalasheshva 12.5. Atmiya Soma in the pots of the sages is placed in the strainer. He enters, merges fully with that Soma who is self-born. Flowing essence gets generated in the woolly cloud like ignorance and gets merged with the spiritual light rays of Atma to become flowing essence of Atma. Quantum of spiritual energy picks up the unreal flowing property of water within the ignorance cloud to become one drop of Atmiya Soma. That is the implied meaning. 9.12.6. Pravacham Indurishyadi, spiritual Soma animating the cloud which is dropper of sweet water of knowledge, endeavors to obtain speech or sound in the summit of the sky. Flowing essence of Atma animating or inspiring the cloud-like mind brings out Vedic speeches. Nityastotro vanaspatirdhinamandasya bardugha. Lord of rays of spiritual light, Soma, getting praised daily, stays in the minds of man, inciting him during his lifetime, yielding nectar like water or knowledge. This is to be treated as a continuation of the previous sloka. Abhipriya divaspada somo hinvano varshati. 12.8. Wise spiritual Soma, impelled in the shining space, flows towards the beloved abode with the streams of the wise praises. Flowing essence of Atma, extracted by or impelled in the mind of the wise sages, flows towards the heart space, praised by their streams of praises. 9.12.9, last sloka. Apavamanadharaya, O flowing essence, Atmiya Soma, may you bring for us wealth which has thousandfold power and are self-manifested. O Soma, implied meaning, O Soma, flowing essence of Atma, may you reveal self-knowledge which is thousandfold wealth. This is the implied meaning. We go to Mandal, next one, Suktam 13, which is in Ashtagam 6, chapter 8. Same Rishi, same Devata, same Chandas. Soma Purano Varshati Sahasradharo Atyavi. 13.1. Atmiya Soma, possessing thousands of streams, passing through the strainer, getting purified, flows to the place of sacrifice for the enjoyment of Indra and Vayu. Infinite Atmiya Somatharas, flowing out of the ignorance cloud, approach bodies of living creatures or places of sacrifice for the enjoyment of Indra and Pranas. Each drop of Soma sets up one stream of bodies, dharas, changing successively with respect to time continuously. Pavamanam avasyavo. 13.2. Desirers of protection sing the praises towards spiritual Soma, who is flowing or getting purified, who is wise and is making noise for distribution to shining beings. The sacrificers praise the flowing essence of Atma Soma, who is meant for distribution to shining beings and enlightened souls. Pavante Vajasadaye Soma Sahasrapajasa. 13.3. Drops of spiritual Soma, glittering in thousands of ways, on getting praised, flow for distribution. To enlightened beings and for gaining wealth or knowledge. Drops of Soma, flowing essence of Atma, flow for distribution to shining beings and for bringing wealth and knowledge. Utano Vajasataye Pavasva Brihadirisha. 13.4. O King Soma, for gaining wealth or knowledge, may you cast the great shining wealth, quantum of spiritual energy or knowledge associated with heroes flow towards us. Shining wealth here may imply self-knowledge, Atma-jnana. May this attain the sacrifices. That is the implied meaning. 9.13.5. Tena sahasrinam rayim. May those drops of shining and well-extracted Soma cause 1,000 kinds of wealth associated with heroes flow towards us. No comments. 13.6. Atyahyana hetrubhi. For gaining wealth or knowledge, the quick-moving somas, on being impelled like horses by the inciters, are placed in a hair sieve which looks like sheep's wool. These infinite drops of flowing essence of Atma are being thought of as being dispersed in the sieve-like ignorance cloud by the wise sages. Vasra arshanti indavobhi. 13.7. The chattering drops of Soma flow towards the sacrificers, like cows moving towards their dear ones. The sacrificers hold that in their abode. Each sacrificer holds only the drops of Soma with them as moving witnessing self. Dushta Indraya Matsara. 13.8. O flowing essence Soma, you are an agreeable giver of delight for Indra. Making loud noise, may you destroy completely all our malicious enemies. O Soma, essence of Atma, may you drive away all sinful thoughts born out of ignorance from the minds of the sacrificers. This is the implied meaning. 13.9, last verse in the sutta. Apadnanto Ravana, O flowing essence of Soma, killing all non-givers of wealth. May the self-perceiver you be seated in the source of Ruta. The seer of the sutta is telling Soma to stay as the source of manifestation of Prakriti. Next suktam, same Rishi, same Devata, same Chandas. Pariprasishyadat Kavi. 9.14.1. The wise shining Soma spread over the waves or pulses or illusion of flowing water particles, flow forth carrying the much desired performer, praiser. Flowing essence of Atma, carrying the seer, flows towards other manifested forms. It carries the imaginary or illusory flowing property of water. 9.14.2. Virayadi Sabandhava. 14.3. Adasya Shushbino Rase. When active men among the 5 similarly related groups adorn the supporter of Atmiya Soma with speech, and they clothe the essence of the mighty one, Atma, with spiritual light rays, then all enlightened souls get delighted. When industrious seekers of truth among 5 kinds of living creatures praise the flowing essence of Atma, Soma, enlightened souls get delighted to hear these hymns, because this Soma is clothed with spiritual light. This is the implied meaning. 14.4. Nirinano vidhavati. Scattering drops of spiritual Soma runs variously and quits the woven strainer. Being harnessed here, he nicely smells or observes all. Soma comes out of the ignorant sieve and becomes the moving witnessing self in all living creatures' bodies. That is implied in the book. Naptibhiryo vivasvata. 9.14.5. Who is purified by the descendants of the Bright One like a youthful white horse, he becomes a purifier of his own body like the cows. When Atmiya Soma is purified, by enlightened sages in this way, he becomes a purifier of his own body. That's the implication. Adhishriti dhiraschata gavya. Shining Soma goes transversely or normally through the hole in the sieve for getting intensely mixed with spiritual light rays. In an hour, he inspires the sound Om familiar to him. Transversal or cross flow is to ensure better mixing compared to sheer mixing when flowing alongside. Atmiya Soma inspires Vedic speeches in novas of Atma. Abhikshipa Samagmata 14.7. The movable ones come in contact with the master of food and getting purified, catch hold of the back of that powerful one. Flowing drops imply meaning. Flowing drops of Soma essence come in contact with Jivatma and becoming witnessing self. The powerful one is Atma in the body of a living being. Last stroke in the Sutta 9.14.8. Paridivyani marmrishat. O soul of Soma, desiring our welfare, may you come to us, grasping all kinds of wealth that are there in the space and on the earth. With this we conclude today's session. Viramastāvat.